So The Accountant 2 was directed by Gavin O'Connor and stars Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal once again returning from their roles from the first Accountant movie. And in this movie taking place several years after the first Accountant, Christian Wolf is involved with another conspiracy and such, and this time around he asks his brother, played by Jon Bernthal, to come and help him in some way. So this was a movie that, admittedly, I was not really looking forward to. When I saw The Accountant back in 2016, I thought the movie was fine. I didn't think the movie was amazing. I didn't think the acting was great by any means. It wasn't a bad movie by any means, but I felt like it was just basic. Like it was just a very generic movie. Like the action was okay, the acting was okay, except for Anna Kendrick. I did not like her character in the movie, but other than her, everything else was just fine. So I was honestly kind of surprised that they were talking about an Accountant 2 for a while, and that an Accountant 2 actually happened. And this movie has been getting a lot of buzz saying it's much better than the first Accountant movie, and that it's definitely a step up from the first movie. And having seen the movie, I'm like, this movie's fine. This movie's okay. Like, there's nothing really special about it, but there's nothing really awful about it. It's just, it does its job just fine. So I'll talk about the things I do like about this movie. First off, Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal are pretty good in this movie. Admittedly, I think they're a little bit better in this movie than they were in the first movie. Particularly once Jon Bernthal enters the picture, he steals the show. And I think like the two of them just bonding, that's when the movie shines. And it's like, okay, they definitely could have had this in the first movie a lot more. But like he doesn't appear for a while in this movie, so it's definitely kind of it's kind of disappointing. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And I do think some of the action sequences are pretty good. Like as the movie goes on, the action sequences admittedly get a little bit better, especially by the third act when it's just nothing but action. And admittedly, there are some funny scenes in this movie that are really good. Like there's one scene in a bar which has a lot of stuff going on. And it's like, okay, that's actually kind of fun, and I actually do like seeing these characters kind of interact a bit. And I do like the buddy buddy stuff a little bit in this movie. There's not a whole lot in this movie. Most of it you do kind of see in the trailer, but I'll talk about that in a bit. Um, but other than that, the movie itself is just okay. Like there's nothing offensive about this movie by any means, but it's just more. I just think this movie just isn't that amazing. It's not like, whoa, I'm just so glad I got to see this movie. No, it's just more, I saw it, it's there, it's okay. Like, mainly the story is kind of all over the place. Like, they have so many things that are kind of going on in this movie, and sometimes I'm like, wait, what is going on again? Midley kind of felt that way about the first Accountant movie, where it's like, okay, this is where this story's going. Oh, no, this is where the story's going on now. This is where the story's going. And Midley, I kind of felt the same way with this movie because there's so much happening in this movie, but also kind of reminded me a bit of A Working Man a little bit, where that movie also was kind of a roller coaster. It's like, okay, there's some action sequences I like, and then there's some stuff in there that's like, okay, but then by the end it's like, okay, the action is pretty good again. And this movie kind of has a similar plot, if I'm being honest. Also, the first act of this movie is kind of slow. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on. Like after the opening action sequence, which is fine, and also this one scene with Ben Affleck and like a speed dating scene, it's just kind of is like kind of trying to figure out like where are we going exactly? Where am I going with this movie? And it kind of struggles for a bit, and even as the movie goes on, it becomes tonally uneven because like at times again it does become this buddy movie where it's like, okay, Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal are kind of like at odds with each other and such, and then there's all this serious stuff that's kind of going on in this movie that kind of, I would say, kind of comes out of left field. I'm like, how are any of these people involved with this movie? Like, of the characters that were all this of the stuff they did in the first movie, how are they involved with this? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And again, I will say this about the movie: there's nothing bad about it, but to me, everything is just standard. A lot of it just feels like it's just kind of doing the best that it can. Like the acting it never doesn't really outshine. The acting never really stands out in my opinion. Like the only times where it's like, okay, it's actually decent are when again Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal are just going at it. That was at least entertaining, but this movie, everyone else is just okay. No one really gives a standout performance in this movie. The action itself, again, it does admittedly get a little bit better as the movie goes on, but it takes a while for the action to really get interesting and such. But again, I felt like this is okay, but like if you really enjoyed the first Accountant movie, you'll likely enjoy The Accountant too. And I felt like this movie, since I wasn't a big fan of this movie, since I really wasn't a big fan of the first movie, I guess I'm not really surprised I'm not really a big fan of the second movie because again, I find it a little tonally uneven. The first third is a little slow, and again, everything just kind of feels standard. It's a little bit all over the place with the story. I just felt like if they picked a lane as to what this movie was trying to go for, and eventually it does, but I wish they knew what it was immediately instead of like trying to figure out like what the hell are we doing here. So even though there are some decent acting performances and there are some good sequences here and there, both action sequences and some comedy scenes that are pretty good, everything else about this movie kind of just feels okay, like it's just doing things by the book, which is ironic for a movie like The Accountant. It just feels like it's a movie that exists but doesn't really try to be more than anything that just exists. I'll give The Accountant 2. I'll be a little nice to it. No, maybe not. I'll give it 2 out of 4 stars. Stream it. So, what is your favorite movie starring Ben Affleck? Comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. This is Pat. Stay safe.